I don't know that the media gave it the level of coverage that is worthy of that kind of a case. But they're there, several that I can mention. Yeah.
All right. And so, when you speak about, the role of the EACC, when you go back to the mandate, does it feel that the commission is perhaps constrained in the current mandate, so much so that then there would need to be a review of what the commission can do? Because you forward cases, you recommend to the DPP, the Director of Public Prosecutions is the only office that perhaps can, that can charge. But perhaps is it important that the EACC is strengthened more so that then whatever you're able to investigate and net, you proceed with it to court?
This is a matter that personally have raised right from the time of my vetting. Yes. Because from just an outsider, I thought that normally in Q theory, because of my leadership background, the more checkpoints you put within a process, the slower the process. So normally you want a process, for it to be efficient, to have as few checkpoints as possible. So if you have a process that takes 10 checkpoints, this one has to check, and another one has to check, and another one has to check, and another one has to check, that process will be very long. That's what we call bureaucracy, If there are only 2 checkpoints, it reduces that time. If it is only 1 checkpoint, it is reduced even further. If there is no checkpoint, that's why where one person is making a decision is more efficient, because it is you make the decision, the matter is finished. But because we want checks and balances, we put in a second person who can check just to make sure that everything is fine. So 1 checkpoint. But if you don't trust even that other person, you add in another one. That continues to reduce the levels of efficiency. And it is in this context that we have been saying, because of the extent of the levels of corruption in this country, the number of cases that we have to deal with, then apart from that, the crime situation in the country, with all other crimes that are taking place, when all these things are brought to one office, so the office of the Director of Prosecution is not just dealing with corruption. He's dealing with all criminal cases to prosecute them in court. So you can imagine the whole country, all these are channeling to just one place. So it reduces the efficiency. Even if that office was working as best as they could, the workload alone is more than they could possibly handle. I compare it with Thika Road. Thika Road, we have how many lanes? It's a huge road, highway, super highway. But get to Ngara, it is narrowed down to very small roads. So you find, therefore, that the efficiency of that road is greatly undermined, because there is nowhere where those cars can go to. So you find this traffic jam that is on Thika superhighway in the mornings is just unimaginable. Why? Not because the road is not efficient, but because where all these cars are pouring into, there is no outlet that is equivalent that can move the vehicles efficiently. And that is what is happening to us with criminal prosecution, that every criminal prosecution has to go through the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. And therefore, the backlog, the inefficiencies that are there. So we are saying, if we create another lane that can then deal with specific economic crimes, that would perhaps reduce the clogging that is there. The court, as the judiciary, has attempted to do that, where they have designated certain courts to just deal with corruption cases. That greatly helped compared to previously, where they went to any court. But now, because there are specific courts that deal with corruption cases, there is a level of efficiency. And if we could increase such courts, I think we could see more output in that. So that is where we are asking, can the law either be amended to give EACC prosecutorial powers so that our cases are processed? In any case, they are going to go to court. It's the court that is going to determine the merit of a case. So it's not like we are going to take somebody directly to prison. The court, the judges and the magistrates are still going to look at the evidence we provide and make up their minds whether indeed there was a crime that was committed. So we don't see that fear that people have that if EACC is given the powers, they will abuse it and so on, because it can be abused at any level. So, but we think it can provide some level of efficiency.
And so